Hi, everybody. I'm Tirza Watts, the Director of Student Life and Campus Community at the University of Colorado, Denver. Welcome to another episode of Encourage the Heart. Today, we're interviewing Rey Worrell, who is a graduate student at CU Denver. In a few minutes, he'll introduce himself, but I want to start by telling you why are we doing these interviews. These interviews are part of a program called Cultivate What Matters, and our office believes that the best things in life are cultivated little by little. You need time to reflect and think about your life and make meaning of those ahas that you have. Our team comes to work every day focused on helping you figure out how do you cultivate what matters and figure out where are you at right now and where do you want to grow. Because at the end of the day, this is really your college experience and about what you want to learn about life. It's about you, it's about your story, your hopes, your goals, and what fires you up. We can't wait to cheer you on in this journey of cultivating what matters in your own life, right where you are right now. So before we jump into our interview questions, I'd like Rey to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're studying at CU Denver.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rey Worrell. I am a graduate assistant for the Peer Advocate Leadership Program. I'm also doing my master's program for counseling, specializing in couples and family. I'm hoping to graduate in 2021, where I will hopefully be working in agencies, working with men of color to open up their feelings, to be able to connect with people more, and hopefully setting up workshops in the future as well.
Awesome, thank you very much. So let's jump into our questions. So what's important to you right now? What's swirling around in that brain of yours?
Well, first, yeah, I hope everyone's safe. I hope everyone's staying 6 feet apart, doing social distancing. And I guess what's important to me right now is kind of being in that state of like, what can I do, being indoors. I'm definitely like an introvert. I'm definitely like a person who's very social. So definitely these past few weeks of transitioning to remote learning have been a little bit difficult, but I'm definitely trying to put a positive spin on it. I'm being super grateful that I am able to like continue and not put a pause on school, and just trying to figure out like how can I best implement different parts of my apartment so that I can like figure out my learning space and my working space, and like just trying to make sure that I'm keeping myself healthy, happy, and making sure my body is okay and doing well.
Yeah, I think it's important to have like a schedule and a routine as you figure out how to kind of manage this new reality. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and definitely it's hard. It's easier said than done for sure to keep up with a schedule and stuff like that. Just because this is not. Sometimes this isn't the space for me that I study. I usually study like the library and stuff like that. So it's definitely been like a learning curve for me. But I've been able to communicate with my professors who've been really sweet and like transparent with their feelings and my feelings, and so they've been really able to help me out with like learning and just adjusting to how the rest of the semester will go.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our second question. What's making you laugh right now?
I guess a lot of memes. I would say Tiger King has been like on the forefront of like memes right now.
Hasn't everybody been watching that on Netflix in the last week?
It's been popping up a lot, and I just finished the whole series, and now I understand all the memes, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is hilarious." But definitely like
I'm resisting, but I think I might break down and watch it.
it's a really tough series for sure, but it's it's only 7 episodes. It's a day binge, if you really like want to go through all of it. I went like an episode per day. So, I was just like, all right, we'll watch this a day. And then that was my weekly routine for 1 week of just watching an episode a day. But, the memes have been really funny, like, just connecting with friends and like just laughing with our own jokes and, just watching funny videos. Trevor Noah and John Oliver have been doing really great jobs of still doing their shows within their houses and, not only providing like good information, but also making me laugh. So it's been really good.
Awesome. Okay, so our next question is, I want you to think about somebody who's been an encourager in your past and tell us a story about them.
I think I told you about this story during one of our retreats, but it was actually one of my friend's father. It was at a point in my life where I was in community college and I was going to transfer to a 4-year university. And I thought I was going to transfer to the university close by home. So that way I can just, stay in the same hometown and everything like that. And so I'm having this conversation with him and he's like looking at me like, with the weirdest expression of like, no, like don't do that. Like go out into the world and, move somewhere where you're going to like it and like challenge yourself. And it kind of took me back because like that was like the first real conversation we had in our relationship. But definitely it like pushed me to go down south to Virginia, where I went to James Madison University. And I'll never forget that conversation. Like it definitely like helped me, push myself in the field of psychology, and it pushed me into doing the lab research that I did there and the experience that I did. And then once I graduated, it pushed me to do other jobs and professions and agencies, and it led me here.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how sometimes somebody can say something to us and to them it was a random conversation, they probably don't even remember it, but it's like pivotal to us and it sticks in our head permanently. Like we can go right back to that moment. And if it was an encouraging conversation, I think it's important that, we have the opportunity to thank them for that. So my follow-up question is, if you could call that guy right now, your friend's dad, what would you say to him?
I would definitely say, thank you so much. Just because, like you said before, like I don't think he thought of that conversation as much.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely because he knew how much family meant to me and how much I wanted to stay within my family. But then he knew how much it'd be beneficial for me to go out into the world and like see new experiences and do new things while I was still young. Um, and like that still is something that I hold dear today, of like being able to see the world and being able to see new people and places while I'm still young and fresh and able to run as far as I can. But being able to connect with my mom, like, states away in Virginia, and her still being like, oh yeah, I'm still, happy for you and I'm still like here. So everything's fine. You're okay to go out into the world and stuff like that. So definitely that whole conversation, like 2012, like, you know, what an astounding, like, pivotal moment that would happen in my life.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So our next question is, when you think about like the last month, what have you learned about yourself?
Whew. Well, in the last month, definitely that, you know, I guess like my brain's in like kind of like a Rubik's Cube. I don't know if you've ever seen the meme of like, it's like a kid who has like a Rubik's Cube head and he's all over the place. Like colors are left and right.
Yep.
And each caption is like, hey, like I know things look, bad now, but when you look back on it, everything will make sense. And then in the final panel, it's the same person, but he has like all the squares.
It's all been put together in the same.
It's all been put together and it works. And definitely, I think this whole month, especially with this transition and shifting, has definitely taught me how incredibly grateful I am to have my interactions with my friends, how grateful I am to still have my parents, but then also like how grateful I am to like be here in this community that like helps lift me up when I'm stressed out or I'm not feeling myself or I'm like having these kind of struggles. um, a lot of my friends have been so grateful when it comes to like you know me talking to them or me giving them an outlet via Zoom or text or anything like that. So yeah, just a lot of like patience and kindness, and just seeing that mental struggle that I've had with myself for the past month, not even past year, the past month that felt like a year, has just been such a journey to look back on for sure.
Right. Okay. So our next question, oops, hold on, it doesn't want to cooperate here. Encouragement would you give to somebody who is struggling right now during this time?
Definitely being able to swallow that sense of guilt or shame. It's, I feel like a lot of people throughout like the country and the world is feeling this kind of tense, like I can't do this feeling, which is okay. I know these feelings, they're icky and they're not good, and they kind of distract us. And it's okay to take that time to like process through it and process like what's making you feel this way, like where in your body can you like sense it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely I've been doing that more and more of when like I'm just not feeling okay and just like trying to process like where in my body. It's been in my ears and my like chest area apparently.
For me, it's my shoulders. I can be like,
Yeah.
oh, something's going on. I'm all stiff.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, and it's good to recognize when you feel it and you're like, oh man, like I need to figure out how I can like, you know, come back together and
Yeah.
kind of like refocus. Um, and if anyone's struggling, just reach out to anybody. Like at this point, like where are we gonna be? You know, like we're gonna be in our houses. So
Right here on camera.
exactly. So it's as long as you reach out to somebody, like a friend, family member, support system, community member, you know, there's a tons of people who are definitely like relating to one another when it comes to the struggles of shifting to remote learning or just shifting to, you know, unemployment and, you know, having to figure out their job situation or their housing situation. There's a lot of people who are feeling the same struggles right now. And I think, you know, with the bad comes the good, and with all the struggles comes this unity and like this community where people can, you know, talk to each other.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so our last question. We like to wrap up our events with groups or with teams with asking people to share one word. So when you think about where you're at today, or maybe from our conversation, what's one word that represents how you're thinking or feeling right now?
All right, I know we're past Pisces season, but I'm a Pisces, so I guess water. Definitely, you know, all these thoughts of, you know, when is this going to end? Like, what do I need to stock up on? Like, you know, what am I doing that I'm not usually like doing when I'm in this productive mode? Why am I stressed out? These are all thoughts that are just gonna like, you know, make this bridge of just like not stopping water. And you kind of have to let all those thoughts flow out and flow back in. And definitely this is a time that's going to go faster or slower, or, you know, just seeing that kind of stream of thought process is going to be okay. And it's your own mindset.
Yep.
Also, drink water to stay healthy.
Yes.
Super important.
Flow through you.
Yeah. Drink
Thank
all
you.
the water, and yeah.
That's a great word. Thank you so much, Ray. We appreciate you being with us today. So this is the end of our episode of Encourage the Heart. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, CU Denver Student Life, and we hope that you'll join us for a future episode, and have a great day.